People who frequent Levitt at the Falls or the State Theater may already be familiar with Diane Olson. She's usually got a big smile on her face and is moving to the music. She volunteers her time, and as Tom Hansen shows us in Eye on KELOLAND, the people who interact with her often walk away with a smile on their faces too.
Diane Olson volunteers hundreds of hours a year at the State Theater, sometimes cleaning.
Welcome to the State Theater.
Thank you. Sometimes taking tickets.
I need to get out and just be a part of it and contribute in whatever small little meaningful way I can.
The theater's general manager says Olson is often the first one to arrive and the last one to leave, and is always high energy.
It's infectious, always smiling, always happy, always just ready to take on the day. Even if it's early mornings or if we're here late for something, an event or something like that. Never turns down any challenges as far as like cleaning something. She just loves it.
Every once in a while we'll get a pop spill or a wine spill or something like that, and we always make sure that that is cleaned up because otherwise it gets sticky.
To see her in action, you would never know the woman mopping the floor was once one of the leading minds in the computer software industry.
I worked for IBM. I was a software engineer, and a lot of the projects I worked on were the brand new leading bleeding edge projects. And so I did rack up lots of patents.
You know cookies that track where you've been on the internet? Well, Diane didn't invent those, but she did invent the technology that they're based on.
It was a suspend resume kind of technology. And then cookies came along later and they did it differently, but it was still suspend resume. So you're not actually using my invention, but you're using the next thing that was created that did what mine did after mine. So I got the patent. They had to reference mine.
Olson has a rare distinction of being named a master inventor, a designation by tech giant IBM for those who have added to IBM's global portfolio and demonstrated sustained innovation. Her name appears on dozens of patents. After she retired from the high-pressure and highly focused arena of software engineering, Olson got out into the real world and found out,
I know nothing. And everyone else, they've lived their lives and they just kind of know this stuff. And they thought, wow, is she ever stupid? She should know these basic things. How do you work a screwdriver? I wasn't that bad, but it felt like it sometimes. And so I am learning to be like a regular human being, and it's such a pleasure and a delight. And I think that's why I find so much joy in it.
Olson also loves traveling and exploring and has been to all 7 continents. Now, she could live anywhere, but she chose Sioux Falls. She even found a historic home and restored it to its original condition.
I could not get myself to look at anything newer than an old historic home. For some reason, it just kind of it turned me off, so I just didn't. I said, I've got to have one of these old homes.
Olson says she fell in love with this community's dedication to preserving history and its dedication to the arts.
This is a small city, but it's huge in terms of all the art and the Washington Pavilion, the shows and the concerts and the museums and the buildings and there's so much that we offer here.
The State Theater isn't the only place Olson volunteers. You can also find her at the Levitt.
And I know anybody that's been to the Levitt has seen her dancing on the dance floor out front.
Because of her world travel and exposure to many different cultures, she was invited to be on the board of directors for the Levitt.
So if you come into the theater and Diane's working, feel free to give her a high five. I'm sure she'd love that. If she's dancing in the back, feel free to join her. Sioux Falls is fortunate to have Diane pick Sioux Falls.
We've been expecting you.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Tom Hansen.
I want to be just like Diane when I grow up. Olson holds around 40 software patents through IBM, and many of them are worldwide.